Hello and welcome to Tagged. Thanks to Head and Shoulders. We've got a huge show in store today, Hokso. Sarah Black gets sweaty on Hokso's hot seat. Emma Driscoll puts a spin on the off-season, and we finally get confirmation on whether you're playing in 2026. I'm the OG Geordie Allen. This is Sarah Hosking. What do you got for me, Hosco?
Well, speaking of the OG Geordie Allen, because I think we need to address it. Earlier in the week, there's been an article coming out that there is a youngster coming through who is also called Geordie Allen, who is coming up for this year's draft.
Jordan Allen, spelled the same way, and I've actually met her. I was involved with the academy over Easter, and so they flew all of the teams in, and I actually met her and her family. Something really strange. Our name is spelt the exact same with the YN, but she's also got a brother named Jackson. What are the odds of that?
No, that is... Do you know what? I don't understand this because Geordie Allen isn't it's not probably a really common name.
No,
you know,
we've got a million Georgia Clarks.
Yes.
But every second person's named Georgia, and Clark is a common surname.
That's crazy. I'm excited though because imagine if she then ends up at the same club as you. You both end up playing together. Who takes a nickname and what nickname do you take?
Well, exactly. And she also has similar traits to me apparently. Apparently she's a gun off halfback. So I really hope that she doesn't come in and take my job.
Hold on, are you implying that you're a gun off halfback?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. The skill set is threatening me, and so I really hope that we pick her up and they put her in a different position because I'm quite comfortable where I am. Thank you very much.
Well, don't worry, you're okay. If anything else fails, you're welcome to come to Richmond. But speaking of similar names, now Sarah Hosking also isn't a very common name, but a few years ago there was another Sarah Hosking coming through the ranks like this of draft prospect. And I've got a funny story for you because she didn't end up getting picked up, but she did play at Collingwood's VFL. And oh yeah, you're nodding, you obviously are aware of another Sarah Hosking. So I kept getting tagged in stuff on Instagram. Like, who is this person? Like, it's not me. She is also blonde. I think she was down from the peninsula as well. So very similar traits. But what happened one day is I got this WhatsApp notification and it was Collingwood VFL. So at the time, Collingwood's VFL coach was Brett, who used to be my coach at Seaford. So he obviously had two Sarah Hoskings in his phone. He's added me by accident to this WhatsApp chat. So I let it go for a couple of weeks and I'm getting these messages about who's coming to training, who's doing this, like this is our intent at training and all that kind of stuff. And it hit a point where I was like, I think I need to tell them because this poor Sarah Hosking is obviously missing out on training messages. So I flicked a message in the group chat and said, hey guys, just letting you know, I think you've got the wrong Sarah Hosking. I'm actually from Richmond.
That is such a boomer. That is something he would do. I'm not surprised at all.
It's hilarious. Well, tell me, obviously our home and away season is wrapped up, so we're going to get in. We've had 2 weeks off. Unfortunately, we both wish we were playing finals. Yep. What have you been doing in the last week or two?
A lot of R&R. A lot of R&R. I went to Wollongong on the weekend and I just had the best weekend. Just switched off, got out of Melbourne, got out of the footy bubble. It's actually really nice to go outside of Melbourne and realise how everything around Melbourne revolves around football. So to go to a non-football state was really refreshing. But I've actually got a funny story for you. So I was seeing a friend up there. Her name's Alice, and I love her dearly. And I want to start by saying that. But she's all over the place. Her life is in shambles.
The best people are.
The best people are, exactly. And I had an early flight to catch. She is living in Wollongong but travelling every day to Sydney, which is about anywhere between an hour to 2 hours for traffic. Driving, yes. Sometimes catches a train, but as we said, life's a mess. So often doesn't commit to catching the train because that means she has to stick to a schedule. Anyway, so we get up. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go get us some coffees. You meet me at the coffee shop and swing past, pick me up, and we can have some coffees on the drive. Anyway, so I have my coffees. I'm standing out the front of the coffee shop and she's like, she's nowhere to be seen. And then 2 or 3 minutes later, she's speeding down the road. She's like, I was here 5 minutes early and then I realized I didn't have my shoes on. And so she had to go back and get her shoes. And anyway, so she's back in the car. We're driving. We're halfway to Sydney. And she's like, hey, do you mind just reaching over the back to grab like my water bottles in my backpack? So I reach over and I was like, oh gosh, how are you? Like, you travel light. Like, what else have you got in here? And she was like, is my laptop not in the bag? And I was like, oh my God. And so she's like, I'm going to have to chuck a sickie. Oh my God. But she's driven me early hours of the morning to Sydney, has to drive back to Wollongong. So a 2.5 hour round trip.
No.
I'm just about to get on the plane and I get a text from her. She's like, guess where my laptop was? and it was on the back seat the entire time. So she's driven and the kicker is she also had to go back to Sydney later that afternoon to pick her parents up. So the poor thing, she was just in shambles. She's had to look after myself and Allery all weekend. So thank you, Alice, and I'm really sorry that I had to put you through that. But you've also
I need to address this because poor Alice, you're my kind of girl. That has happened to me before. I think that is absolutely, I cannot believe it.
So, finals. First week of finals, what has stood out to you so far?
Well, both were absolutely cracking games. I think we take a look at, Hawthorn was probably the disappointing one, Hawthorn-Carlton, but the story that comes out of that was absolutely exciting. You see the excitement that Carlton's playing with. There's a few stories going through there. I think I loved seeing the McKay sisters, Mimi Hill, Maddie, I can never pronounce it. Maddie, I can't. It's like, I know her last name, I just can't pronounce
Ireland.
it. Yeah. Maddie Greer, I still can't do it. And you know what I'm trying to get to. Some of their players just coming through are just so exciting. I think they're sort of the underdogs for me. I think that's, a team that looks like they're playing with a lot of freedom. They're having fun. They're getting around each other and really celebrating. So I thought that was a cracking game.
100%. I think the thing was we haven't really seen the Hawks fire a shot this year. I think the gap between the best and their worst is quite large. And I think going into that game, most people would have thought that Hawks would, get back to their best and really rattle the cage, and nothing seemed to happen. But my favourite game from the weekend was the D's Crows game. What a game. That encapsulated what finals football should be.
Oh, there was so much to it. At 3/4 time, it was 41 even.
Yeah.
So you've got a cracking last quarter. And again, I think you saw there's so much that came out of it. Melbourne were depleted with some injuries. Obviously, Eden Zanker out of the side. You've still got Maeve Chaplin out with a hamstring. Does she come back for the last game of finals or last potentially 2 games of finals? Sinead Goldrick came back after an eye injury. So there was so much happening there. There were just different elements coming through. Wotherspoon, the youngster, her either first or second finals campaign, that last quarter, she really took the reins. Your favourite player, everyone's favourite player at the moment, Kate Hore.
My dad's favourite player.
You got a bubble in your throat.
My dad. He always tells me, you're my second favourite player, because he just loves Kate Hore so much. So 3 goals and 26 disposals. The first player in AFLW history to have 25 plus and 3 goals. Like, what a captain's performance.
Oh, it was amazing. And especially, as I mentioned, they're coming in as underdogs. They've been a high-performing team for such a long period of time as well. You take a look at Mixtoneer and what he's been able to do with this group, the amount of players that, they've obviously cycled through over the years. You lose the likes of Daisy Pearce, but seeing what that next wave of leadership can do for Melbourne. Look at Kate Hore, she's thriving.
She's unreal. And that's my head and shoulders moment. For head and shoulders above the rest, Kate Hore, we haven't seen a performance like that. But what was your head and shoulders moment above the rest, thanks to Head and Shoulders?
Well, I go on a little bit more the silly side, and I think it would be silly if I didn't mention it. It was Soph McKay and her goal celebrations, because we saw it last week where she kicked a goal, she pretended to do a hammy, and then she did some sort of move with her legs. This week, she kicked another goal. She's thrown the shoulder to give a fist pump, pretended that she's got the shoulder injury, and then she's absolutely carried on and celebrated. So I love that, because I think I've mentioned before, she's one of the young up-and-coming players who's going to get bums on seats. You see the way that the crowd reacted to her, and she's just an excitement machine. Not just once. She then threw another celebration. It was her sister Abby's birthday on the weekend. So what did she do? Everyone else is jumping around Abs. She gets down on one knee, pretends to have a cake in hand, and lets Abby blow out some birthday candles.
That is so unreal. And I love what she does for her teammates. Like, you just see, like, they're like, she kicks a goal and they're just, all eyes are on Soph because they don't know what she's going to pull out. And I think as a player, like, that is so good for culture. No matter, are you 30 points down, are you 2 goals up? Like, that is the type of thing that allows people to come back into the moment. So I'm a huge fan of Soph McKay as well.
Well, speaking of, we do have some really exciting games coming up this weekend. Some preliminary, I still even can't say that word, preliminary finals. I've got a real speech problem. Preliminary finals this weekend.
Her lip still hasn't recovered.
Yeah, I'm going to blame it on that. And anyone that can see right now, I've still got a little wonky face and a wonky smile. So the first game, again, cracking game after Melbourne come off a great performance against Adelaide. They're coming up against North. It'll be at Icon Park, 3:05 on Saturday.
On Saturday. It is huge. And everyone always asks, who's a chance to have a crack at North? are the D's a chance? My question to you.
I think you look at some of their performance. If they can play their best football for 4 quarters, absolutely.
And that was the story on the weekend, wasn't it? Because they were nowhere to be seen in the first half.
Yep.
But then the second half, they come out, Kate Hall kicks 3 goals. They have some really strong performances, but they're going to have to do that for 4 quarters against North Melbourne.
Absolutely. And again, you mentioned the 4-quarter effort. That first quarter, they kicked a couple of goals. They need all their players to get around. Tyler Hanks had a quiet half, but then you're looking at those leaders, that next wave of players to be able to do this for 4 quarters. So that is exciting. I think you look at North as well. They're coming off a break. So, they're on an absolute run at the moment, over 25 games winning streak. So in order to be able to get at them, they come off a break. So do they have the shakes? No, that's probably your best option.
Yeah, and that's something you're always considering when you've had a week off. Is the team coming in going to be a little bit complacent, or do you want to keep a good thing going and play every once a week? 2 weeks off can really affect the mentality of players. I dare say the professionalism of North Melbourne, it wouldn't even be a factor that they'd consider. The way they manage their players is exceptional, but there's some huge potential ins. So Maeve Chaplin potentially in from a hamstring injury, Eden Zanka potentially in for North Melbourne, and Ailish Sheeran returns for North. So there's some really experienced finals players from all three of those names who are coming in. Who goes in, who goes out? Yeah,
well, that is the question, and I'm not answering that right now. I know that I am a commentator and typically give you expertise, but this is a fun show and I'm not doing it. We're going to move on to the next game. So the next game we have is at Brighton Homes Arena. So it's Brisbane and Carlton, 6:35 Melbourne time, 7:35 Brisbane time. So this is a cracker because I think this is the game of the round. This is the one that I think Carlton can take it to Brisbane.
Yeah, and they have. They did it during the home and away season. They got it done up there. And I feel like Brighton Homes Arena isn't as much of a fortress for Brisbane as they would like it to be. It seems to be that they travel extremely well, which is obviously hard when you're such a high-achieving team. It must be nice to get wins on the road and away. Wouldn't know what that's like. But the Blues have gained so much momentum. Yeah. They are so much fun to watch, and they've done it once. I think if I was the Lions a week off, you'd be a little bit concerned.
Well, that was the turning point of their season too, because I remember Darcy Vesio spoke about it, Soph spoke about it when she came on the show. That was the game that turned their season around. So they were a bit rough to start, and since then they've had momentum. So I think they're going to take a lot of confidence coming in, and the way that they're playing, I really get this feeling that they're sort of, you look at the men's season back in 2016 when Western Bulldogs finished sort of, I think it was in that 7th position. They've got this underdog kind of mentality about them where they're just having fun. You can see that their coach is getting involved, the staff are getting involved. They're all just enjoying their football. So for me, they're the excitement team that I think anyone else will want them to win.
Does finals experience prevail though, because Lions have made 6 consecutive prelim finals and we haven't seen the Blues in finals since 2019.
I played back then too. Just saying, haven't played since. No, actually I have. But I think you do. You have to take a look at that because you see finals games is completely different and the intensity steps up, the ferocity steps up, everything steps up. So I think you have a look at Brisbane they've only missed 1 finals campaign in the whole 10 seasons they've played. You look at these 2 coaches across, Starcevic as well, one of the OG standing coaches. I just think it's going to be an absolute cracking game.
I absolutely cannot wait. But for those of us who aren't playing football, Em O'Driscoll has a little bit to say about the balance that you have to find in off-season. Now is time for OMG.
Welcome back to OMG. This week's topic is going to be off-season because a lot of our teams are now out of finals or finishing finals and we have no idea what to do with our lives. So I'm struggling, to put it bluntly. I have no idea what day of the week it is. I had mee goreng for 2 meals the other day. That's not even real because the club's not feeding me and I don't know how to be an adult. My room's a bomb. I like it being clean. It's not clean. There's clothes everywhere. I've said for 4 days I'm going to go through my clothes. Have not done a thing. I get home, I lay on my bed and I feel like I've been horizontal for a week. And I just don't know what to do with myself. I go for a walk in the morning and my hamstring pulls up sore. What? That's not real. And let's talk about also the club. I feel like we've done exit meetings now. I do not want to step foot in the club. I don't want to see a dumbbell. Don't go posting videos of you exercising because I'm not doing anything, and that is normal. Let's normalize that. And second to that, I'm exiting WhatsApp. Get rid of all my notifications. I'm going on an Eat, Pray, Love retreat, and I'm in silence after this episode. I'm done. No one contact me about footy or anything related to footy. That's it. I'm probably going to turn off social media as well. Or I'm going to block Freo Docker's AFLW because I don't want to see it. I'm off the clock. I'm switching off. I'm having downtime. I'm doing what I want to do, which is probably laying horizontal for the next 2 weeks because then we will get programmed. But I still won't be here at Coburn. I'll be near my house, running to my local coffee shop, and that's it. And I hope everyone's doing the same because we need to learn how to relax. But also, I will see you guys next week, and I will see you next year in 2026 when I start my programming again and I come back jacked, okay? So I'm doing the work, just not right now.
I dare say this is the first time that I'm agreeing with anything that Driscoll said. We're always going back and forth. I'm the same. I don't know about you, Hokso. No. The last 2 weeks, I have not lifted a weight. I have been loving the fact that I don't have to rock up and be somewhere on time and haul ass to, one end of the oval to the other and back and forth. It's just been so nice.
No, I disagree completely, wholeheartedly. Don't get me wrong. For the first week off, I was a sack of potatoes. Like, I was on the couch, I was horizontal, but I went way too hard. And this week, I've done a complete 360. So I need to tell you a story because as an elite athlete, you think you can go and pick up other sports or other activities quite easily. So what I decided to do this week was I've had a complete reverse. I'm on the Wholesome train. I'm back on board exercising. I'm ready to go. I joined Upstate in Richmond, which is a Pilates studio. They do Pilates, boxing, hot mat, a little bit of all this kind of stuff. So I thought I'd jump on the bandwagon. Love it there. So I've decided to go and do a reformer Pilates class. So I don't know if you've done reformer before. For anyone that hasn't, like, shout out to my Pilates girls out there. But you're on this giant long bed thing. At the end of it, there's like 20 springs, and it adds tension. On the other end, it's like there's all these straps. So like these long cord straps that you have to like put your arms and your legs in at different times. And anyway, so we're doing this exercise where like there's 3 rows of beds. I'm on all fours on my bed. Keep in mind strings, tension, a bit of everything. I've put the long straps in between one of my legs, and then I'm on all fours. In the lady starts saying, all right, you've got to start kicking your leg out. I realise halfway through that she's talking in the class. They've got this big speakerphone, so they're connected to the speakers to
and
everyone.
10,
yes,
and 9,
yes.
Hold for 8.
Yes, exactly that vibe. So I'm like thinking, so my head is against a brick wall. There's 3 rows behind me who can just see my ass. So I realise after 10 seconds that the lady has been saying, you're doing the wrong exercise, And then I realise she's talking to me. So she's had to come over to me 4 times to try and tell me that I'm not kicking my leg. I swear, my leg went that way, my arm went that way, my head was going that way. It was absolute chaos. So hats off to all these Pilates girls who do this on a daily basis, because I'm determined during my off season to become an elite athlete in Pilates.
And that's not your vocation for the rest of your life, because you have some information to share with us, some news.
I do. Well, yes, I do. There's been a little bit of speculation. You've asked me a number of times across tags this season, am I playing on next year? Yes, I am. Yes. Yes, I am. I am playing next year.
Congratulations. Well done. So Pilates is just a little side quest before you get back into it.
Yes,
love
absolutely.
It. Well, that's it for this week for Tagged. I'll be back next week with Driscoll. You've got the day off. We've got Zippy Fish as our special guest.
After W Awards too.
After the W Awards. Oh, I dare say Zippy Fish might be questioning her decision to come in early on Tuesday. And we'll be chatting more on the prelim finals. Hokso, you had a special guest on the hot seat this week.
I did, and this one is super exciting. I had Sarah Black jumping on, so it was great to see her on the other side of the screen. We know how smart she is, and she absolutely outsmarted me, so stay tuned for Hosco's Hot Seat.
I absolutely cannot wait. I'm the OG Jordan Allen. This is Sarah Hosking, and you've been watching Tagged thanks to Head & Shoulders. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi, I'm Sarah Black. I'm a journalist here at AFL.com.au, and I am very scared of chili.
Well, Sarah Black, I am absolutely stoked to have you here on Hokso's Hot Seat because about time I give it back to you, okay? So it's pretty simple. All you have to do, I'm going to list off a bunch of hot, saucy, spicy questions. Do you have to answer? No. But if you don't, you must take a chip and dip it in one of my 4 hot sauces. Sound simple?
Sounds simple, ominous.
Are you nervous?
I am so nervous. So there's a joke at my house that if I go on a first date, I shouldn't have chilli as part of the meal because I sweat so much.
So is Andrew Dillon a better CEO than Gil McLaughlin?
I value my job.
She's shitting herself.
I've been nervous about this all day. I had today off, and I've come in for this.
Did you eat it all?
I ate during the day. Okay. I wasn't that nervous, but it's just been in the back of my mind all day.
So, question, should the AFLW Grand Final be moved to Marvel Stadium?
Yes.
Oh, love that, assertive. The current AFLW start date and season length, finally correct or another misstep?
Another misstep.
Another misstep, love that. Sarah Black, yes or no? Are you disappointed in Richmond's AFLW performance this season?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Goodbye. That's a chip, thank you.
What?
No,
they announced a review.
I'm disappointed too. If you could drop a Richmond player, who would it be?
Oh my God! You can't throw me under the bus like that.
You know the rules.
As in, like from the 21 or from the squad
Whole squad.
entirely, like just to list someone.
Both. Taking too long to answer this. You got 3.
Can I cheat and say Jodie Hicks because she's already retired?
No. Go. Chip for that. Thank you.
Oh, I'm already sweating, Sarah.
Describe what you're tasting to me.
That one's actually not as bad. Maybe I'll keep going unless there's a... Nope, there's a burn coming now. There's a bit of sweetness in that one.
In 3 words...
Oh, Lord.
How would you describe Richmond's AFLW season?
Well, you've already given me one. Disappointing. Underachieving. Disappointing, underachieving. Frustrating.
Okay, well, that was 4 words, so have
It
another
wasn't,
chip.
it was 3 words.
Underachieving.
That is 1 word. Who's the wordsmith here? This is why I write for a living.
We can cut that out, right? I can't. I'm thrown. I haven't even had any hot sauce. So talk to me about journalism, because obviously you have to get the balance right between, you know, writing factual articles, but also there is scrutiny that comes along for players as well. Now, I'm trying to help...
This has really kicked in.
I'm trying to help you and show a different light to the Sarah Black that also sometimes has to be the bad guy.
Yeah.
So how do you get the right balance?
I think I try to stick with factual things. So I wrote an article about Richmond earlier this year laying out what's gone wrong, and I just stuck to fact and there was no opinion in there. That's how I stick to it. Yeah, and I try to you know, present all sides of the story. I'm struggling to articulate. My mouth is there's a lot of saliva in there right about now.
So one of the things you're known for is doing the top 30 AFLW player list. Correct?
Oh, I thought people had forgotten about that.
No, so essentially you rank, you know, where the players sit and who is the top 30 in the competition. Yes? Correct? Yep. Why have you never listed me?
Because you haven't been in the top 30 in the competition.
This is a savage one. Yeah, okay, cool.
Neither of us could. You couldn't even get that question out, Sarah.
Okay, so I've got a deck of cards here, and I'm going to show the camera because every single card is in it, right from ace to king to joker.
Yep.
What's your favourite card in a deck?
Queen.
Queen. I want you to pick a queen. If you don't pick a queen, you have the trifecta. Oh, it's the 8 of spades. Okay, so the last one is where you grab a chip, you dip it in each of them, and then you take a mouthful.
I'm not sure if I can do
this one.
Yes,
the last one, I promise you.
Oh, my God. All right.
And as we do this, I'd just like to thank Sarah Black for jumping on the other side of the screen for once and joining me on Hokso's Hot Seat.
I think I'm going to struggle to maintain my journalistic integrity when it comes to writing about you in the future. I am not going to forget this, Sarah Hosking.
Bye for now.
My God.